Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Spellbinders. So, yay! We are, as always, starting out with the card kit of the month, and this is for October, and it is called You Are Stellar. So, as always, we are going to start out with the reveal. So, let's see what comes in our kit. Sorry for the crunching. So we are going to start off with the card. So we get a card that lists all everything that comes in your kit, and you get some inspiration and a project that you can work on. Our card stops are a light blue, a white, a pale yellow, a light pink, a purple, a light purple, a dark blue, a gold mirror, and a darker pink. I'm going to take my bracelet off here because I'm sure it'll drive somebody crazy. Let's see. We have, as normal, our double-sided foam squares and our, maybe not, well, I know we always get a roll of double-sided tape, and it looks like that. We get our card base. I found the tape. Hey, you gotta love it when you go live. So there's our double-sided tape. And our card bases. Now these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. They are textured and they are already scored. And then of course you get 10 of those along with 10 envelopes. We're going to get these beautiful sentiments, and they're not, I think it's like a brass or like an old vintage gold. So it's not like the bright gold. So they're really, really pretty, and some stars. Lots of stars, so that is awesome. And then you can even use some of the pieces that are in the center of the letters. We get some domed stickers, and this is of the constellations, Aries, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and so forth. We also get some stickers, again, of the constellations and some sentiments. And let's see, let's open this up, because I believe there are multiples. Yes, so you get that page. Oh, those florals are gorgeous. And some sentiments again. Some more and some frames. More sentiments and photos. So you get 4 sheets of those, which is great. Of course, let's look at our 6x6 paper pad. And again, this is paper. It's not cardstock, and it is called You Are Stellar. So let's page through that. Again, some of them have a gold embossed on them. Oh, that floral is gorgeous. I just love these. Now these are great for layering. Again, they're not cardstock. They're just under, I think, 60 pounds, or in the range of 60 pounds. But they have great textures, great images that, again, coordinate with your kit. This would be great to even cut out for some sentiments. But they just all match. Oh, it's a beautiful blend. Oh, that's beautiful. And some moons and stars. You get 2 of each sheet. You're going to get a pack of sequins. These are white iridescent. And you guys know my favorite part. This kit just inspires me to collage. I just love collaging with this. So let me pull some of these out so you can see all of the beautiful images. Get some unicorns and some sentiments. Some circles, beautiful, beautiful florals, hearts, postcards, just all kinds of beautiful images with that. And as always with every kit for Spellbinders, you also get a die and a stamp set. So here is our stamp set with beautiful fonts for the sentiments. I love it when you have both type print, that's my favorite, and then you have a beautiful script in different sizes. You have hands with stars coming out, so that'll be fun if you use that. And then we also get a beautiful die set. So we have a moon, we have a beautiful background, and it's in different layers. So you can create that panel. And then we have some stars and a sentiment. I just need to know what that sentiment says. Let's see here. I think it says shine on. That's what that's going to spell out. So this is the S and the H, and then the I-N-E, and then on. So you get to piece that together. Which is great. So these are the contents of the October 2021 Spellbinders card kit of the month. And again, it is called You Are Stellar. So let's get started and make our 10 cards from this one kit. Okay, so as always, 10 cards from this kit, like I said before. Now, know that when I work with this kit, it is a lot of collaging. That's what I gravitate to. So you may not see the stamp set being used. You may not see the die set being used. Again, these videos are just another way to utilize the kit. And you all know why I'm making that statement. Yeah, I love doing this. So you can say I do like to use the paper pack as well. I'm adding some gold trim to the side. Again, another technique that you can do. We always don't have to have that straight line on our paper. Paper is a wonderful medium to work with. Again, if you've been here before, you've heard me do my sing or my statement. You know, sometimes I put a little bit of a music tone to it, but we can tear it, we can rip it, we can crumple it, we can stretch it, we can stamp it, ink it, watercolor it, spray it. We can do so much with it that we don't have to limit ourselves to just having that straight line. Now, if you like that straight line, if you like those 90 degrees, then keep them. Again, that is the beauty of creating our art, creating our cards this way. You know, there might be just one thing that you're looking at when I've added the clouds, I've added the tags, I've layered the tags, I've layered the pattern paper, but there might just be one thing that you liked, whether it's just the clouds and you want to put them on another piece of paper or another card. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. And that's the beauty when it comes to just this one. And it happens in every craft that we want to try or attempt when it comes to that. My goal is just to get you to try, to keep creating what you're creating. I absolutely fell in love with these sequins because they are white, but they are also iridescent. Again, something that's a staple within my room are my clear iridescent sequins when it comes to that. I also enjoy the gems that are iridescent, not just the color. I do like that iridescent look going on to them. The other thing that I like to layer with is the solid cardstock because, again, when it comes to the pattern paper that we are using, remember, everything in a kit is designed to match. It's designed to work together. So while it may not look like it goes together, it does. Because again, all of the pieces, whether for this kit, it's the die cut, it's the stamps, the dies, the 3D chipboard stickers, the puffy stickers, the flat stickers, whatever it may be, it's all going to work together. There are times, though, to make your pattern paper come up and to segregate each level, if you want, when you're putting multiple levels, is to use a solid cardstock behind it. For those of you that have seen my Simplicity series, I do that a lot. I will take a paper pad and I will add 2 to 3 different colors of solid cardstock, because then I can create those layers. It helps your eye to go to each level. When you don't use the solid cardstock, it's not that the eye's not focusing in on anything. It's just creating this beautiful wave that goes through. So you don't have that delineation. It's like when I add my vintage photo, that helps to add a frame off to that piece. And you can do that as well. I mean, you could just take your pattern paper, stack it up, and use an ink. Doesn't have to be vintage photo, but you could add an ink around it, and that will do the same thing as well. It wouldn't be as sharp of a frame as you would have using solid cardstock. Some people have also asked me, Des, you're not explaining the cards that I'm doing here, because you can pretty much see what I'm doing. I'm taking my die cuts and I'm collaging with them. I'm layering up my panels of pattern paper. Just always know in the kit comes standard A2 size card bases, which means they measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. When I cut that first layer of whether it's solid cardstock or the pattern paper, it's either cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 or 4 inches by 5 1/4. When you see that white border going around, that's what that's being cut to. The 4 1/8 or 5 3/8 or 4 inches by 5 1/4. When you're not seeing that, then I am taking that full cut. So that's the thing that I keep normal. And I know that's what that measurement is, because I know I'm working on a standard A2 size card base. When it comes to all of the other layers, like this strip, that gold strip, I have no idea what sizes they are. I'm just cutting. I'm enjoying the process, and I'm just having fun creating those layers, because not only am I collaging the die cut pieces or the stickers or the chipboards, I'm also just collaging the pattern papers, whether it's strips, blocks, or anything else. So keep that in mind. I mean, you can pretty much tell this is what you're looking at. So this kind of turns into my chat with you guys to see how you're doing, to see, you know, are you creating and are you enjoying? I know there's a lot of frustration going on right now as we continue through our journey with what everyone's going through, and shipping has delays and there's things that we can't get, but just be patient. You know, we'll get through it. It's not their fault when it comes to that. You know, everyone is, you know, this is now the next wave of all of this, and now this is all going to catch up when it comes to that. But, you know, we will go back to a new normal. It'll be a little different, but we will continue through this journey, and we will get through the journey. Nobody knows when, but we definitely will. But, you know, again, just understand that there's all kinds of things now that are just waving in and catching up due with everything that has been going on. So that's what this kind of video does. But I also, now if you go back, I believe it was June. I keep that note in front of me because I don't do it every time. But when I did the June kit of the month for 2021, at the end of that, I actually walked through what my process is when I do these cards, how I put them together. Questions were asked, do I do them one at a time? Do I do this? And really, for me, it's a thought process, but for me, it's really not a thought process. I just like to get things out and to just lay them down and throw them literally on top of each other. And that's what you'll get. Because again, remember, the kit is worked and designed to work together because everything matches. This one I think is my favorite because there's just so many levels. There's so many layers going on here. I like collaging, as you can very well see. And the more collaging you do, to me, the better. I'm really getting into masterboards. And wouldn't that be cool to create? Might have to do something. Yeah, I know, that was a long pause. I just came up with something really different for the kit. I'm going to have to take a note. But I've really gotten into masterboards. Now, mainly if you are card makers, you're not really aware of what the term of a masterboard is. But if you've seen some recent junk journaling videos or even sketchbooks, they do them in there as well. Masterboards are just really great. And again, it's really close to the concept of collaging. It's another term for it, but it limits, you know, to what the size is, and then you turn it into something else. So those are the things that I really do like. You can get some very interesting ideas and prints. Again, I'm also one where I like note cards. I like just blank note cards or cards that I can turn into anything that I want. Just because you're wishing somebody a happy birthday doesn't mean it has to have a balloon or a cake. It can have anything. It just as long as the front says, or even on the inside, it says happy birthday. So again, you know, we don't have to, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love those sentiments. I will add those sentiments, but there are times where I don't add the sentiment because we've done so much work to the front. Why cover it? Why cover all that beautiful work up? And I just can't. So it's easier for me to keep them off to the side. And then I'm always one, I'm not really a planner. Unless it's something that needs to be planned out. I mean, there's some things that I will, but when it comes to creating, I really don't plan it out. I have a concept of what I want it to look like. And there's some things that I'm doing just a little bit more to that. Like the videos in my Patreon account, because they're long and they're detailed. So some of those videos, yes, I do plan those out because there is so much information in there. There's lots of gabbing and going on in there. So those I'll plan when I know that they're going to be lengthy. But usually I'm not planning. I'm just kind of putting things out there. When it comes to putting, you know, all of these cards, you know, together and coming up with different ways to use that. But again, I just don't, you know, I forget that there's a birthday coming up. I forget that there's an anniversary coming up. I mean, heck, me and my husband, we forgot our anniversary one year. He did it one year and then I did it the following one. And not to pay back. We just keep taking each day, and every day is a celebration for us. So it's just, this is something that happens. So when something creeps up, or my husband looks at me and says, hey, say, hun, you know, we're doing, oh yeah, I can real quick grab that card. And then if I wanted to slap a sentiment or just write on the inside, happy birthday, you know, again, they'll figure it out. So again, we don't have to feel that we have to put a sentiment on the front, and we don't have to feel that we have to do this. Again, do what you want to do. Is everyone going to like it? No. Are you going to like it? Yes. And that's what is beautiful. You know, when I say, is everyone going to like it? And some people, and no, that's really for those of you that have your channels, have your blog and all of that, because again, people are looking for something specific. And that's okay. By all means, it's, you know, everyone creates differently, and puts things together differently. So, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it is absolutely awesome. And again, everyone can have an opinion. It's up to them. But anybody that you give, I really struggled with this. Back to the card. And you know what? It's not centered. After I fiddled with it, and I even pulled in the T-ruler, which y'all never see me do. Yeah, you never see me pull in that T-ruler except for very few times, and I'm even amazed that I did that. But yeah, even after all of that, it's still crooked, and it's off to the left, but you know what? It's still a card, and it's still beautiful. Again, there's nothing that's going to... I'm just not one... I believe paper has two sides. I believe we should not throw our cards away unless we have literally just destroyed it. And yes, I've done that. I mean, I've worked on cards and I've done them overnight. And I stupidly... stupidly left a cup of water up on my table. I don't sit when I create and make my videos. No matter if I'm videotaping or not, I stand. I will stand at my table. Somebody very special to me, a very good friend of mine, actually made my table. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, shelves are built into the legs and everything else. So I stand the whole time. Well, I stupidly left this cup of water, and it was water from after I just got done watercoloring this beautiful... I was just doing a landscape, having fun, you know, practicing. I always practice my skills, and still practicing watercoloring landscapes. Somehow it tipped over. I have to believe the cat had jumped up there and tipped it over. That one, yes. We had to, because it turned into... I actually cut it up and used it as background. Because I lost everything that was on it. So, you know, in that case, yes. But, you know, there's always a way to fix those happy accidents. There's always some ways that when we're working with something where we struggle. That's the time where you set it aside and you put it aside. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to come back to it. When we try to force those concepts, those ideas, that's where we get frustrated. And this should never be frustrated. And I do. There's times where I'm working on a design team project and I'm like, I can't do this. And I'll walk away. And then when I come back, it'll completely change. Still keeping the base of what I have, but it will 9 out of 10 completely change. But don't force your creativity. And you can see just adding all of these pieces and just pulling out all of this. This card is a great example right here. So I've got that night sky. I have no stars or anything else on there, but I have the word stars. But you can see how I use the solid cardstock going around that. That is actually helping for us to see the pattern on the paper to the back of that, where there is no solid frame around it. So that's what your frames, your mats will do. Whether it's you cut your piece 1/4 of an inch larger, or whether you cut your piece 1/8 of an inch larger. You get that slight frame mat. And it's going to do wonders for you. Some of the papers in this paper pad were just absolutely gorgeous. And I do believe that pattern paper, you let the paper do the work for you. Just cut it up, make it as big as you want, and just set a sentiment right across it. I did that with the Dream Big, and of course that's the one that was not centered, which is fine. And this one I am using the die cut. I was very intrigued at what this die cut was going to do. So my curiosity took over. And I love setting that panel on top. You get this starry sky look. Just because you have that main panel going on in the background. Now this die also comes with letters so that you can spell shine on. So again, it's a sentiment, but it's really just the letters. And you'll put them together because some of them are broken off. And you'll see that in a second as soon as I'm done placing all of my double-sided foam tape here on this piece. I did want to prop this up, and that is the beauty of their double-sided foam squares. You could use the entire thing. You don't have to just, when all of the little squares are gone, throw it away. Cut it up and use that. So you can see here the S is separate. The H is separate. The on is together, and the INE is together. So again, you can have some fun with some words. And then we're just building it. I do like the font when it comes to these words also. And then we're just going to glue those to the front. So that panel, that dark panel, that whole die set is kind of really cool. I mean, you can do a lot with that. I am going to come in with many sequins because that's going to help with the stars, and just not only the gold, but also this iridescent feel. Now, I mean, you don't have to put as many as I do. I do love adding a lot of sequins because it does add a lot of glimmer, or whether it's gems or anything else like that. I mean, it's like my minimum's like 11. I count them because they've got to be an odd number. Yes, I love the odd numbers. And you can see now I'm just adding more going off of that. So, because I probably didn't hit that number. But again, I do hope that you enjoy this. This is the time for us to get together, a time for us to chat. Let me know below. How are you doing? What is there something new that you've created? Is there something that you saw that you thought was fantastic or you're curious about? Let me know down below. By all means. And as always, I'll have links to Spellbinders shop, their blog for more inspiration, and to the club kits that are now available. And they came out with a new one, so it's like stamp and die one, so that's awesome. So make sure you check that out. Continue to enjoy your day. By all means. Smile, laugh. There's lots of frustration going on, but it's just the journey we're going through. But keep smiling, keep laughing. Any questions that you may have, let those down below as well, and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe, be part of my group here. Make sure you ring the bell, and hopefully YouTube will let you know when the next video is coming up. And remember, this video, the card video for Spellbinders, starts almost a week long of Spellbinders almost every single day, and with a few surprises, and there is definitely a surprise in there. So everyone, take care. Always remember what's most important for me, though. Always be creative. And believe it or not, we do it every day. Take care.